Hello, welcome to the When I Have Spare Time podcast. My name is Frank, and I'll be sitting here talking to you for a few minutes. As usual, I'm wearing clothes. I'm wearing a shirt that has lab rats on the front, and they're saying, "Did you get the jab yet?" And then this other rat goes, "No, they're still experimenting on the humans." Anyway, so far in the month of April, and this is a reason to celebrate. Today is April 27th. There have been 44 mass shootings in the month of April in the United States. 44 mass shootings in the month of April. That's amazing. Um Now I didn't know this was a stat, but apparently there's a website that keeps track of mass shootings in America or just in general. But anyway, in America. And the reason why I looked it up is because I was listening to this other podcast, and I thought it was like a satire show or like a joke podcast because like they were talking about all the mass shootings in America, and they were telling jokes about it. So I'm like, oh well, there's because like like when they got to like number 20, I'm like, okay, well this must be a joke. But then like I actually found, I looked it up, I did some research, and then they had like a website that actually keeps track of this stuff, and I'm like, wow, they weren't joking. They just had a sick sense of humor, kind of like me, so they were making fun of the whole thing. Because after a while, after mass shooting number 7, it kind of gets funny. You're like, wow. And then also you realize that the media didn't cover most of them, which is interesting. But you know, it makes a certain side of the political spectrum look bad. You know, because most of these shootings happened in democratic cities. Actually, just saying, defund the police, I guess, isn't really working. Man, crime is like crazy. But anyway, um, neither here nor there. I'm just letting everyone know it's time to celebrate. So far, we've had 44 mass shootings, and those are just the ones that they count. Because remember, a lot of them they don't count because gang violence mass shootings don't count toward official statistics. Anyway, oh god. So did you anyone see what's the vice president's name? The chick who got her the chick who climbed up the political ladder by laying on her back. Harris, yeah, Kamala Harris. Anyway, she put out a tweet announcing that she had COVID. I don't know why um, people announce that they have COVID. It makes no sense. Um, Everyone has had the fantasy flu by now. I mean, it's in the same family as the flu and the cold. Everyone's had those. So anyway, but anyway, our very smart, intelligent vice president said, and I'm paraphrasing. I'm sitting in front of a computer. I'm not gonna go to her Twitter to find out exactly what she said, but she was like, you know, I'm I'm fully vaxxed. I have 2 shots and whatever. She has 4 shots in her anyway. So she said something like, "Thank goodness I've had 4 shots because I would have been a lot worse." How do you know that? Um, like she's asymptomatic, like most people. The average person who gets the fantasy flu is asymptomatic. The average person doesn't know that they've had it. It's because once again, this is a pandemic of the unhealthy. 80% of the people who have been hospitalized were fat and had, you know, three or four, sometimes five other things wrong with him, because this is once again a how do you say this thing is you know, picking off the weak members of the herd, basically. That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, your immune system is your best defense. You know, because if you count the people who only died from the fantasy flu, just only the fantasy flu, it's about 9,200 people. That's it. Now, if you want to count people who died with it, okay, well it's a lot more. But cause of death, just the fantasy flu, you know, a little over 9,000 people. That's it. So, but yeah, like it's not news that the vice president, you know, caught the fantasy flu. That's not news. And but you know what really is the news story in this one is that she's you know, fully vaccinated and still got it, which is great because it lets everyone else know that yeah, you could be fully vaxxed and still catch it and spread it. So you know it'll um, you know, help quell you know, idiots like idiot run cities like New York that you know are still demanding people to be, you know, vaccinated for, you know, public safety, which makes no sense considering how many, you know, famous people who have been fully vaxxed, you know, have still gotten it and then made the announcement, I'm fully vaxxed, but thank God because it would have been a lot worse. And like you don't know it would have been a lot worse. That's just bullshit. That's called cope. The average person is asymptomatic, so it doesn't matter if you're, yeah, I don't know. It's anything to promote a message. They'll just say anything. But anyway, it's neither here nor there. Oh, and Elon Musk bought Twitter. Um, I like how there's a lot of people freaking out that Elon Musk bought Twitter because he's going to make it so that there's free speech, and there's a lot of people freaking out that there's going to be free speech on Twitter, which is amazing. Shows you what's really going on. A lot of people who were banned are now unbanned, um, which is I just find very interesting. Like a lot of like you know a lot of people that the left doesn't like but I'm talking like YouTube personalities. Okay, so like there's a lot of YouTube personalities that were banned from Twitter, but now that Elon Musk bought it, they're back on. So, but here's things because like you know once he takes you know full control over it, he's gonna make all the things public. Like you know, is there shadow banning? Of course there's shadow banning, but like Twitter said that there isn't, and like the algorithm is you know manually manipulated. You know, like the what's trending. That's that's a bogus stat. Like Twitter just says something's trending. It doesn't really mean it's trending. You know, so they can suppress something that's really popular and you know pump up something that's not. And anyway, yeah, I've seen all different types of reactions. I've seen people like you know jump for joy. I've seen people like howl and hiss. Seen people go, you know, I'm quitting Twitter, and then like a day later come back. Like, it's like all those people who said that they were gonna move to Canada when Donald Trump became president. None of them moved to Canada. You know why? Because America compared to Canada, Canada sucks. Name one person that'd rather live in Canada than in America. Huh? Gotta be kidding me. When Trump was president, our economy was booming. the biggest mistake Trump made was like print out all that money for the stimulus checks. But it's not his fault that the economist Dr. Falsey thought it was a good idea to lock the country down. Locking the country down was the biggest mistake ever. So I'm assuming that. Well, I shouldn't assume because America, well, our government, they don't learn from their mistakes. So the lockdown caused more harm than good, like a lot more harm. Um, Apparently, and I can't believe that so many drug overdoses happen because of the lockdown. Like, isn't that sad that like all those people who died of drug overdoses, if those people just had a PS4, they'd be alive today. Think about that. Because most people only do drugs when they're bored. So it's like you can't go to work because your business was closed, or because there's a mandate. So like you didn't want to get the shot, so like you lost your job, so you're home. There's just nothing to do. I guess I'll do heroin. Now I don't think it's that simple. Actually, they said most of the drug overdoses were from the like the pain pill, the painkillers. What's it called? The fentanyl, I think, oxycontin, whatever. It's that genre of a painkiller. But I'm not a pill popper, and never have been. I've now I've been with a woman who was one of those pill popping junkies. I'm talking like 40 pills a day. Okay, I'm talking like one of those women. So I've seen firsthand. Yeah, those people can overdose pretty easy because and I didn't, I've heard of tolerance. Like you're an alcoholic, so like you could drink a bottle of vodka and like be fine. But it's just alcohol. I don't know. Like to me, alcohol is something because it's like alcohol is a part of some people's culture. So it's like remember, like in some countries, there's no age limit to a bar. You can just go in and drink, because it's just not a big deal. Like in a lot of countries, or okay, like in South Korea, it's like 18 is the legal drinking age. Um, but I mean, it doesn't matter. But anyway, neither here nor there. But it's just that like you just don't like think of alcohol and like someone can drink whatever 12 pack to themselves. It's not a big deal. But then when you see someone, we'll just use Vicodin. But then when you see someone who can take 12 Vicodin to themselves, just take 12 Vicodin by themselves and be normal, that's scary. Because they're not high, they're just trying to get back to normal. To get high, they gotta do like, 30. Imagine that. I mean, that to me, that just blows my mind. But yeah, like, I dated a girl like that. And like dating's a very um I'm using that word loosely. But yeah, like you know, seeing someone, okay, like when a person's on like 40 pain pills, like uh I don't know, it looks like they have an out of body experience. Sometimes they'll just like, start walking, collapse. Um, they don't know where they are, or they'll think they're a different person. It's just on a different type of level than like drinking a 18 pack to yourself. So like all those people, and the number was wait, let me look up how many people actually died from drug overdoses because of the lockdown, because it was a huge number. It was like, it was like more people dying of drug overdoses than actually died from the fantasy flu. I don't have my producer with me today, so I actually have to look this stuff up. So bear with me. Okay. Yeah, more than 100,000 Americans died of drug overdoses. Yeah. And that's more than people that died from the fantasy flu. That's sad. Yeah, so, you know, lockdowns were a bad idea, but anyway. Yeah, so I'm just, you know, I don't know what to say. But I will give some advice if you're ever dating someone who does take all those pills. Well, like if you're a guy anyway. Um, it's basically like having like a like a human blow up doll. Anyway, I've said enough. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.